What's up, folks? Welcome once again to another session of ACTnow Hot Issue. What's for lunch for today's edition, Tuesday, the 30th of November 2021. OMG, it is already at the end of the month of November. Tomorrow starts a brand new month, the last month of the year 2021. Takut tak? Cuak tak? How fast the time actually flies. It is scary to think that we just, started off the year 2021 and now we are we will be entering into the last month of the year. Hopefully you guys had a productive year so far. Hopefully you guys are still having a productive year so far. We are very much towards the end of Q4 kepada pemilik-pemilik bisnes dekat luar sana. To all of you business owners out there, obviously you guys are banking the fact that your P&Ls are in good health, you're making profits. Siapa yang tak buat profit to at least you're able to actually balance your books quite well, able to save up some money here and there, and can't wait to open up a new book come the 1st of January 2022. One person I know who's always excited, regardless of whatever time the year is, February ke, January ke, March ke, apa-apa bulan pula, dia sentiasa seronok, dia sentiasa semangat, dia sentiasa memberikan pandangan dengan apa saja topik yang kita ingin bawakan. As always, Melvin Lam. Hey Melvin, what is up?
Hi, good afternoon. You're saying getting balance, the balance sheets, positive, surplus. Well, I hope it's true, but I think at this time it's still in the dream. The reality is in deficits in rate.
Yeah, unfortunately, everyone has to factor in the fact that such a tough couple of years that we have gone through. But we can always hope for the better. When you talk about cash flows, when you talk about stock keep, when you talk about all these kind of things, kita kena bawa topik ke usahawanan juga lah, entrepreneurship lah juga on the show, because I believe out there a lot of people out there are actually business owners. Then they want to listen out to a lot of things business related as well, and not just about hot issues yang buat diorang pening kepala je dengan kita cakap, Melvin.
Well, it's still a hot issues in their sense.
Yeah.
When they have business issues, the business are not good, slow down. Yeah. It's still a hot issue for them. So I think now it's always for communities. We listen to every angle. I mean, never know. We'll come up certain packages or even certain our live show. We will dedicate probably 1 or 2 in a week to talk to entrepreneur, business entrepreneur, communities entrepreneur, what challenges they are facing. It's very important. I mean, it's like, now a lot of people now buy online. A lot of people now so-called work at home or even do their business at home. I mean, if you remember last year or beginning of the year, a lot of people were retrenched. So a lot of people cook at home, and they do online marketing. I mean, they do. Those ones order the food. I just received an WhatsApp affordable Western meal cook at home. Someone shared with me. If you want that, they actually home operations they offer. So they need marketing too.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, maybe if I'm not wrong in saying this, Melvin, that anyone out there, any business owners out there who wants to come up with ideas on how to collaborate ke, ataupun you want to talk about something ke, do drop us a line, drop us a DM, drop us a PM. Basically, just tell us lah, in any way, shape, or form through our official channels. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? And perhaps, both Melvin and I, we will actually, have you on the show. We will talk about the topics. That would be interesting, Melvin.
Actually, we have one, but we did soft roll out 2-3 months ago. It's under our the branding of AppBin. AppBin actually give online marketing services as low as 500 ringgit, where we give you video productions over 2 minutes, where we have our two hosts presenting, commenting on your product or services, and we also do graphic designing, copywriting for you. So we have actually soft rolling out, and this one what we have in mind is to target at community business to make affordable. Yeah. So AppBin, it's ACT Assembly of Community Trust. But do you know what BIN stand for? BEAN.
Yeah, itu adalah kacang yang sedap dimakan, Melvin.
Okay, it's a bean is actually like a seed, right? It's a seed where you can grow into a big plant, tree, and harvest good harvesting.
Exactly.
So,
okay.
And BEAN, BEAN is business enterprise around your neighborhood.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of things that we're actually doing under the umbrella of ACTnow. All you guys need to do is just drop us a line, and more often than not, we should be able to accommodate you, in our way, and hopefully it would benefit for all parties as well. And also, and of course, not forgetting all of our viewers who are watching us right now. Thank you so much. Awesome stuff. You guys are always with us. Thank you so much for following us.
Thank you
for watching us, and don't forget to share and like this video and drop us down a comment as well. All right, let's move on to today's hot topic session that we want to bring about. That's a bit of a theme that we want to bring you guys out today. The topics that we're going to be covering has a lot to do with the main topic of human rights. Seperti yang anda ketahui, as all of you already know, that we Malaysians, not we Melvin and I, we wish, but all Malaysians actually, Malaysia has been elected as one of the council members for the Human Rights Act, or should I say Human Rights Branch, I guess, under the United Nations. It is definitely something that we're very proud of. That shows that we are very, we care about our people, we care about other people as well, we care about all the rights and whatnot. But allegedly, and I have to stress this, the word allegedly, there has been some wrongdoing happening on our shores in our country that states that, again, I emphasize this word cannot enough, allegedly, saying that we are using forced labor. And a whistleblower has actually found out and spoke about this, and it has actually severed the ties between a giant company like Dyson to cut their ties with the supplier of ATA IMS Bhd. What is going on, Melvin?
So yes, it came as a surprise. I mean, not a surprise, really surprise, because a lot of reports talk about our growth maker. US report, our growth maker is using not practicing good labor practicing, forcing them to work long hours, putting them into unhygienic environments to stay, or too cramped a place for them to stay. But this came in as a shock to me, because this is not involved in growth industry. It's involved in manufacturing of so-called electrical goods, which is for the international brand of Dyson. Right, Dyson is something that I wish to own. It's the Rolls Royce.
I ada vacuum dengan kipas Dyson.
Oh, you millionaire, ma.
I mean, thank you for wanting that to happen. But yeah, no.
I use the KDK.
Hey, KDK local brand bagus tau, local brand. But we just want to also we just want to inform, before Melvin, you go further into this, we just want to inform as well. Yeah. Due to the fact that this allegation has come into surface, that shares in ATA, which make parts of Dyson's vacuum cleaners and air purifiers, tumbled 30% to the lowest since April 2020 after the Reuters report. And this, people who don't know about stock exchange, about stocks and whatnot, 30% is a lot. This can equivalent to millions and millions of American dollars when it comes to their status and their value in the stock market, Melvin.
But then to understand that ATA, Dyson's accounts for almost 80% of its revenue. So if it's taken out, wow, you only have 20% left. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's why probably it's tumbled 30%. Luckily, it didn't tumble 80%.
Oh yeah. Shoo.
You know, look at the brighter side of it. It's only 30%, not 80%.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what allegations. ATA says it's taking seriously allegation of forced labor in an audit summary it received from a high-end home appliances maker and claim of physical abuse raised by a former worker. Right, this former worker of ATA told writers that on Thursday that ATA official took him to a police station in June, where he was questioned about sharing information about conditions at the factory with activists, and then beaten by the police.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, it's a serious case, but then it has to be proven whether this is true or not. It's just hearsay or what. So the police departments in the southern Johor states, where ATA factory is located, say it has not received any reports on such matter. So so it's something like it's the police. I mean, PDGM says no such reports, but these workers claim that it has been beaten in the police stations.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And
it's
what was
serious,
reported, yeah, and what was reported again, it has actually come. I mean, the fact that it's such a big deal because again, everyone on God's earth would know the brand Dyson, and the fact that this has actually been an international news, not just local news, international news, because how big Dyson is, and the allegation that has put upon ATA. The Malaysian Human Resources Minister M. Saravana has also said that the Malaysian government, really wants to hear the reason from both parties in saying that what actually has been going on, what is going on, and are these allegations true or not. But the thing is, once this thing is out, whether it's true or not, I mean, like, yes, of course, you are innocent until you're proven guilty. But the fact that these allegations has come about, it has been spoken about, and these things are already happening, it does not paint a great picture, not just to the Malaysian manufacturing company, but also to Malaysia in general, because in other words, it's saying that Malaysia condone this kind of act, and that is very, very sad.
Yes, it is. But in a way, I believe it's in a way some corporates company do practice that.
Mm.
It might not. I mean, look, if they are given the bad conditions of living conditions, that is also part of the labor's law.
Yep.
I've witnessed myself those workers in constructions industry that's giving very bad so-called living conditions. They actually put them in the compound of the development site itself.
Yeah.
Right, and they wash and clean themselves. Their waste is all there. So where that's why you go back to reports. That's when the outbreaks of the COVID-19, a lot come from the construction site as well. So it's 50-30, and how could you expect a humans live in work and live in the conditions with 24 hours with this cement, paint, smell, and all these things, inhaling all these days after days throughout the project. So this is something I hope the government seriously look into this. It's humanitarian, what we discussed earlier. Yes, everyone want cheap labor, but we can't pay. I mean, they are humans just like us. We all are humans as well. Put yourself, could you live in that condition? If you're not, you better improve their conditions as well.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
do
And
not condone, I do not support.
speaking about people who are working in the construction sites and whatnot, it is also reported back in July, the U.S. State Department, the American United States of America State Department has actually put Malaysia on a list with more than a dozen countries, including China and North Korea, saying that it has not made progress in eliminating trafficking of workers. Kita apparently dalam group sama dengan North Korea. That's not good. Yeah.
Probably they will take out the word North. And say, oh, it's Korea. Everyone thinks it's South Korea, the K-pop.
Kalau South Korea tak apa, I nak jadi macam Jungho juga, like all the K-pop artists and whatnot. But we are being put in a group where we are practicing same things as what the Chinese, China mainland, and the North Koreans are. And that, again, looks so bad to our country. Granted, we are very much into the progress. Kita nak banyak orang, like you said, we want cheap labor. But again, you have to put a stop to trafficking people, taking people from Bangladesh and Nepal without having proper documentation and then working them to the bone, anggap diorang macam hamba, like slaves. That shall not happen in Malaysia, but
It
unfortunately
should not
reports,
happen.
yeah,
It should not
but
happen.
reports says that it's happening. Itu masalahnya, Marvin.
I wish that we could embarrass those company that actually abuse such things, on their workers. We should not. Yes, they come here for a living, right? Okay, we might consider it's a cheap labor, but for them it's a good income, fine. But you have to give them a good environment, conditions where they stay. If we just think about profit and forget about them, they are not robot. They're as humans as you. They have the feelings as you.
Yep.
So why we should not do it? I mean, in the name of humans, mankind, in the name of mankind, in the name of God, you should not do that, because no faith, anyone's faith allowed you to do that, practice that.
Yep.
Right.
I totally agree with you. Yep.
Yeah. So those in the factories, manufacturing factories, foundations, construction sites, these are the main one, because take pity on them. Take pity on them. They're still human. That's why when they say stay here, after sometimes they get mental stress and a lot of things happen, and we start to blame on them.
Yep. And one opinion that I want to share is that, right now, granted, the world is so scared about COVID-19, as they should be, of how COVID-19 is so, contactable, is so easily spread and everything. Look at it this way. If, like what Melvin has mentioned, if you put all of the, foreign workers in one spot, sangat-sangat padat, sangat-sangat unhygienic, and one of them gets COVID, more often than not, a lot of them will get COVID, and then bila diorang jalan pergi ke pasar, bila diorang jalan pergi ke bandar, bila diorang jalan pergi ke kampung mana-mana, it involves us as well. We will also be exposed to that. So let's find the root of the issue and solve it directly, rather than, wait along the lines, because it will be too long already. It will be too late for you to actually do anything about it. So get to the root of the issue.
Yeah, I hope this case is not just put to rest and forgotten about it. I hope it's ATA will have to prove themselves. They have to prove themselves that they are right or the accusation is wrong, so that it will erase the kind of mindset over Malaysians' practice.
Yep. Hopefully, we will hear good news soon coming down the line. At the end of the day, if they are convicted because of their wrongdoings, please, by all means, extend the worst punishment they can be, because again, that's the last thing that we want to do. Imagine you sekarang, kita kerja kat pejabat, kita masuk office, kita asyik kena tibai dengan bos, not just verbally. I believe kalau factories, they might get even physical abuse, being beaten up. That's just bad. We don't want that to happen in Malaysia. We practice common sense yang tak common dah. I keep on saying we should have another talking about common sense yang tak common dah sebenarnya. But yeah, and put ending to the fact that we do hope that this goes away very soon, properly, not away people sweeping it under the rug, orang bayar duit ke apa, away meaning that is being convicted kalau dia buat salah, and try to be better moving forward. All right, enough of the first topic, very much. So jumping into our second topic as well, again, very closely related to about human rights. We've actually brought this topic quite a while back in regards of capital punishment. We were talking about how the human rights have actually, made their case about it is wrong to end a human's life regardless of whatever wrongdoings that they're doing. One thing that can be certain of, it has been reported in Malaysia at least, the number of death sentences that has been put upon convicts, mereka yang telah menyalahgunakan undang-undang, yang telah melanggar undang-undang, has actually gone a lesser and lesser, which is a good thing. I mean,
well, it's a good thing. First of all, I hope that really the crime rates has gone down. And probably Malaysia in moving towards away from capital punishments. Right. But it's quite interesting fact of a total of 478 people, 478 people was sentenced to hang from 2018 to date, as 2021 November. The newspaper also reported in 2018, a total of 172 convicts were sentenced to death, 172 in year 2018, as opposed to 118 in year 2019, and tipping further 112 people in 2020, and this year 2021, just 76 people was hanged.
Itu sebab orang tak boleh keluar rumah, Melvin, because of PKP. That's why.
Hey, please, Mio, those who were sentenced there probably have years of court hearing before they sentenced them.
Tak patut gelak. I'm sorry. I apologize. I tak patut gelak. Yeah. It's not a laughing matter. No. Yeah. True.
It's not going to catch you and send to you next day. Probably they have the criminal cases was accumulated years back earlier, the hearing and all these things. But it has the diminishing, and Malaysians make up of 372 or 77 or 78% of the 478 cases. So the remaining were all non-Malaysian citizens, foreigners who did crimes in Malaysia. So in the peninsula, drug trafficking topped the list of crimes punishable by death at 67%, drug trafficking, followed by murder, 30%, illegal possession of firearms at 2%, and kidnapping at 1%. So top of the list is still drug trafficking, which consists of 67%. Well, that's why they have to be careful whether they're going to approve. Or remember, we talked about this last week about cannabis, allowing legalized cannabis. But then we have to be very careful when we to implement all these new laws and all these things, because otherwise people will abuse it.
Exactly. And why we're bringing up this topic actually is because the whole fiasco that we've been hearing from south of the border in regards of the death penalty case that has been in the limelight recently due to a case of a Malaysian Nagendran K. Dharmalingam, who was convicted for smuggling 42.7 grams of heroin into Singapore back in 2019. Hence, is being brought up today after 11 years, almost 12 years. His death sentence is nearing, and a lot of people, a lot of human rights activists are actually going out and saying that this should not happen. What's your take on this? Should this happen or not, specifically to this case?
But first of all, we have to respect the laws of each country. But in this case, it was proven that this non-resident has low IQ.
All right.
It's been tested to have a low IQ. Therefore, it has been probably it's believed that he has been manipulated by the drug, so-called drug trafficker, to lead him into so-called carrying this smuggling the heroin. So he has a low IQ. He probably is very naive, and he was tricked into it. So sitting on the humanity ground, even our Agong, our king, has actually written to the president of Singapore to appear for a less so-called sentence, rather to life imprisonment, rather to have to hang by death. So the case is supposed to be is still pending now, and we also heard that this person was also contacted COVID-19 positive, I think about a week or two. So we do not know what to be the outcome. It's still in the court of appeal. So I can't say whether it should or should not, because I hope the Singapore governments do have considerations of the facts. But as what we do, as myself personally, I do respect each country laws and regulations. Just like when you step into my house, I have my own laws and my house policy. You have to abide by my house policy. So likewise, I mean, in Malaysia, they can say 22% of your committed victims are foreigners. If everyone start appearing, would you entertain them? So it's a case by case. But in this case, it's known that this person has a very low IQ. He was probably naive. He didn't even know what he was doing.
Exactly. So what we're trying to say is that as much as Singapore, same with Malaysia, we do carry out death penalties for people who are trafficking drugs. But we would only resort to that when all of the proof and all of the arguments have been said, have been heard, and has been considered. Then only the punishment will be carried out, or should I say, will be convicted. The punishment due to the whatever situation that you're in. Again, I'm in this. I'm on the same page as Melvin in saying that whatever it is that you do in your country, we respect that, but do consider all of the other facts as well. If it's reputable enough, if it's beyond a reasonable doubt, then perhaps that you can go along with it. But there's still doubt. If there's still some concerns that you're still thinking of, then maybe you should consider. I don't know, but whatever it is, I have to say before we end this particular topic is that Malaysian chicken rice is better than Singaporean chicken rice. Habis, itu saja nak cerita. Okay, I sengaja nak buka cerita tu. Alright, so let's talk about how the ACTnow mobile community app has always been a magical application, and how it has been able to serve all the communities out there in his magical ways in reporting and making sure that all of your concerns are being addressed on a community level. And this time around, we want to bring something that has been reported but has been negated as well. Am I correct in saying this, Marvin? What is up with this?
You have correct. I think okay, let's share this report. Okay, this the user actually reported it said this stores actually put out divider cones that forbids the car to park there. So it was sent to us, and we sent this to the respective traffic departments. And what they did they did an investigations before, right? And then they report back. It said the cones was there during the SOP period, the lockdown periods, where certain, at the most ending of the lockdown, stores are able to operate, and they tapao foods and all these things. So those to avoid people, to actually get the people to line up and all those things. So they did the thing that, yes, the reporter probably was did not get what he wished, but then investigation was done, and was found that during that time is to actually following the SOP. So car park was not allowed there, and people can queue up a line to buy to pack their foods. So what I'm saying, I don't want to discourage everyone. I mean, we sometimes don't get what we want. Most of the time, we don't get what we want. So, but then investigations was done fairly and reported back to ACTnow, and reported back to this user. It was there for a certain reason, which is acceptable. I mean, but nevertheless, do not say, "Oh, okay, every time I report, I will get this answer." No. I felt that our report that we sent to authorities, a lot of time they come back with investigation. They give us even the date and time of the investigations, and who went there for investigates. So it's all on records. Yeah,
exactly. So what we're trying to say is that whatever report that you have lodged onto the wonderful app of the ACTnow mobile community app, there are still there are still procedures on how the report is being lodged and how it goes up to every municipal council or any agency for that matter. It will get entertained. We will not throw your lodge report down the drain unless you complain kata ACTnow tolong my bini selalu kacau saya or whatever. Kita tolak tepi lah. Valid
I sayang.
I sayang. Kau suka buka balik. But all the kind of reports out there, we still entertain them, but we put them into the power of the authorities after they investigate, and then we would then reply back in saying that things have been resolved, or if it's not resolved, why is that? Why does that happen, so on and so forth. So do not worry about that. Please do not be discouraged if your reports are not being entertained, because there's always a valid reason behind that. Bukan suka-suka hati je, we want to deny your report, Melvin.
It has to be entertained. They send up for investigation, so that is already a response. But during the finding that they have reasons to put it there following the SOP.
Exactly.
So sudah entertain lah, sudah layang.
Sudah layan, basically. So whatever it is, guys, make sure you guys download the ACTnow mobile community app on your Google Play Store as well as your Apple App Store, because this app can do wonders, and it will definitely do wonders not just for you but your community and basically to the nation as well for Malaysia. All right, that marks the end
Okay,
of our
cool.
topic today. Interesting topic, a very hot topic that
Interesting.
we have, but nevertheless, tomorrow we'll definitely be back to entertain you guys again untuk menyampaikan apa yang berita panas yang berlaku di tanah air. All right, so thank you so much,
Yeah.
Marcus, for coming on. We'll see you soon.
I see you tomorrow. Take care.
All right, cheers,
Bye.
bye. All right, guys. Melvin, together with myself, as always, sharing with you all the hottest topic, berita-berita panas yang kita boleh bawakan kepada anda every day from Monday to Friday. But don't forget, there's a lot of changes happening with ACTnow. A lot of new things that's coming on ACTnow. How do you want to get involved? How do you want to get informed? Check out our Facebook page because all of the information will be there. And I myself will give a shout out from time to time, reminding you guys what's going on. Mioadlan here signing out. Hope you guys have a great lunch and happy day. Cheers, bye.